I'm Luke Walks, and I'm literally under the bridge downtown, as the Red Hot Chili Peppers once sang. This bridge is the Phra bridge. Now, forgive me if I pronounce things wrong. I've only been living in Bangkok for a year and a half, and I'm learning. That's what these videos are about, learning about Bangkok and exploring Bangkok. And as anyone knows, when they're learning new things, they're going to make a few mistakes. So I apologize for my terrible Thai pronunciation, but I'm learning, so please forgive me. Anyway, this bridge, well, it's not actually a bridge. It is a bridge, but to be more precise, it's a viaduct. How do I know it's a viaduct? Well, first of all, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and a viaduct is made of sections. So this bridge here, the Phra bridge, is made up of archways connected together, which ends up forming one long bridge. Now, in this video, what I'm planning to do, my original idea and concept was to explore the Bangk area, the district, which is right next to the Chao Phraya River, which is right there. And while exploring that area, so I started to dig a little bit, and then I realized that Sampangtawong was actually a very interesting district as well. And I started to realize there's so many interesting districts in Bangkok. So I've bunched together a couple of ideas and videos about the Bangk area and about Sampangtawong district, and also in particular Chinatown. Now, Chinatown's a fascinating place. So this video here, we're focusing in on, it's kind of like the second part of an expose on Chinatown, or in particular the Chinese in Thailand. So in this video here, we pick up the story from just after King Taksin, because with King Taksin, that is when Chinese trade and Chinese immigration started in Thailand. And we pick up today with the story of King Rama I. So King Rama I, he was the one who moved the capital from Thonburi, which is the other side of the Chao Phraya River, to this side of the river in the Rattanakosin area. So when he moved the capital to the Rattanakosin area, they had to push everybody out of this area, which included a lot of the Chinese. So the Chinese were pushed to the Sampangtawong district area, and then just south of that is the Bangk area, where the Portuguese started to settle in that area. So that's in the Bangk area is where a lot of I've already done a video about that. That was my first of this series, and that's all about early colonialism, the colonial period in Bangkok. And that's where I've discussed and explored the Portuguese. I visited some significant places like that. So if you're interested in that, you can check out that video. Anyway, I am going to have a explore around this area and learn what I can about this side of town. So not only this area, but also I want to learn more about King Rama I. So I don't know too much about him, and I don't know too much about that area. So that's my quest for today, learning about the first King Rama I. So in the last video, we explored Wat Arun, and it is just over there. You can just see Wat Arun just over there. And we explored the Thonburi side and King Taksin, and how King Taksin rose to power and how he eventually got executed. So if you're interested in hearing about that story and learning about King Taksin and the Thonburi side and the early Chinese influence or the early Chinese arrival in Bangkok, then watch the last video and you'll learn all about it. Jericho shade on the Sky Park bridge, but it's pretty noisy here. Sitting on concrete, and there's no view. It's not really a peaceful, tranquil park experience that I hoped for. Have a look at my view. But I am getting some shade, so I'm counting my blessings there. So it's a really interesting place, but I don't know if I would be putting it in my top 5 list of things to do in Bangkok. Here's another beautiful little seat in the shade. It's horribly noisy, and look at my view. So as for from the design perspective, the user experience is not that magical here. Interesting to look at, interesting concept, but experiencing it, not that great. Plastic viewing platforms, they're kind of like a grandstand area, but it's in Bangkok, it's just too darn hot to sit there. I think it would be actually a nice experience to be here at night time. So I think I should come back at night time and check this out. Also, it would be a nice experience to watch the sun go down here. So those two user experiences would be good, but middle of the day, I can understand why I'm the only goose actually walking around this. A lonely man walking around an abandoned park. So here's one of these viewing platforms. It's fantastic. It's got a beautiful view of the Memorial Bridge down to Wat Arun and all the boat life, river life on the Chao Phraya River. So this is actually a magical view. Just not a comfortable experience because of the heat and also because of the noise pollution. But just check out this all the action and activity. These two massive barges coming in. Yeah, there's another example of the noise pollution. The long-tailed boats, the colourful long-tailed boats, the little tugboats. There's also some wonderful buildings around as well. But it's just a difficult place to linger just because of the noise and the heat. I'll tell you more about this bridge and also the green bridge right next to it, the Memorial Bridge, but I'm just going to find a quieter place to do so. I just spotted a bird's nest. I was just actually thinking to myself before I saw that bird's nest that it's called a nature park, but it doesn't feel very natural. There's a lot of concrete, a lot of noise, a lot of metal. The plants aren't really happy. And I was just thinking, I don't think you'll see any actual animal life here. And then I saw the bird's nest. So there is signs of life here, but I don't really think they should be just emphasizing the nature side of this nature walk. These plants here don't look very happy. Here's a few more dead plants. So again, I really like the concept. This is a great idea, but the poor old plants aren't happy, and the human visiting this park, I'm not sticking around for very long. I don't really want to, I don't feel like I'm part of nature here. If you want to come and visit this place, I would recommending it, incorporating in a trip to, if you're going to see Klong Ong An, that's in Chinatown. It's kind of a recently kind of tidied up area in Chinatown, where they have some markets and it's along a canal and there's some restaurants and shops. Go and visit there, and also come and have a look at this. This is very easy, very close to each other. It's easy to walk from one to another, and it'd be like an afternoon or an evening experience. That's what I think I'm going to do next time, and I'll do it in a future video. Actually, I'll be exploring Klong Ong An, and I'll do that at the night time, and I'll come here as well so we can compare and contrast the experience. This actually is a sensational view here. These viewing platforms are really magical, really marvelous. If you can put up with the noise and the heat. Here comes one of those these new electric ferries. Okay, time to get off this interesting bridge and learn more about King Rama I. Let's go. Actually, there's a park which is just at the entrance of that Sky Park bridge, which is actually quite nice. Nice experience. It's cooler here. There's plenty of shade. I even saw some wildlife. A small lizard just ran out in front of me and scared the pants off me. The plants are happy here. I just saw a dog having a little nap. People are walking around. I'm not lonely anymore. But the park here is a nice experience. Beautiful trees around as well. So this is more like the park experience I know and love. I'm feeling at one with nature once again. Anyway, let me tell you about these bridges here. Look at me having a little park experience here on my own in this nice little park. Should have brought my picnic blanket actually. Anyway, let me tell you about this bridge in the background. So behind me is the Phra Bridge. And it was built and opened in 1982, which was the 200th anniversary of Bangkok. Now, I learned a little bit about that when we did, and I learned a little bit about that when I was exploring Khao San Road recently, because Khao San Road, it was around 1982 where it became popular as well as a place for travelers, because for the 200th anniversary, hotel accommodations were quite scarce and hard to find. They were all filled up, particularly around that Lumpini Park and Sukhumvit area, and also in the Silom area. So travellers were looking for were forced to find an alternative place to stay. So that's when that was around the time where in Khao San Road, guest houses started to open up more and to cater for all these travellers that were visiting in 1982 for the 200 year celebrations in Bangkok. Anyway, that was that year that this bridge here was opened. And now this bridge was opened because basically the green bridge, which is the memorial bridge, which we're going to have a closer look at in a moment, it was becoming way too busy, because as with most big cities, the traffic has over the years has just increased and increased and increased. So there was a need for another bridge because there was just too much traffic for the memorial bridge. So this one here was opened, and it was opened in 3 different parts. Now the 2 outside sections were for the outgoing traffic and the incoming traffic, and then the middle section was actually for a rail line. So about King Phra, he was King Rama VIII. No, he wasn't. Rama VII. So he was King Rama VII, and he's most famous because he's been the only king in the Chakri dynasty, which is still going today. He's the only monarch to abdicate in the Chakri dynasty. He is also the last absolute monarch. Now this is when the coup happened, and I've done a video about this when I talked about the Democracy Monument. So if you want to learn more about that change in Thai history, then you can check out my Democracy democracy monument video. I highly recommend it. So back to the bridge. So the central section of the bridge, so the outside two parts were for traffic, for cars, and the middle was created for an electric rail to go across. Now in 1990, a contract was signed and construction started on this rail. However, the company went bust, and so that project never actually eventuated. And so the central area was just left as a rotting corpse for many years, until recently. This is when this Sky Park was developed, and it was only opened in 2020. So the official name is the Chao Phraya Sky Park. I don't know why I was calling it the nature park before, but again, I'm learning. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend anyone. But it's called the Chao Phraya Sky Park, and it was officially opened on June the 25th, 2020. But that wasn't its original name. The original name was actually Prajadhipok, which is also King Rama I, Phra. I don't fully understand why. Actually, this is something I need to learn. The many names of the kings. Also, I need to really work on my pronunciation. But anyway, let's just say Rama VII, Phra. So it was originally called the Bridge Sky Park. The design of the really cool, it was actually a very well designed. It's just the user experience in the middle of the day, which is not the best. But it's actually really interesting. The views are magical, and I love all the shapes and things like that. The views, the grandstand style platform seating where you can look down the river. It is really nice, and the kind of there's a lot of curves as well. So it's kind of like emulates rolling hills. Okay, so a little bit of I didn't originally come here just to see this wonderful sky park. I'm actually here to learn more about King Rama I. Last video we explored the life and times of King Taksin, who was quite instrumental in opening up immigration, but also trade with China. He also he was the one that relocated the capital from Ayutthaya to Bangkok, which is called Bangkok today, and he was originally on the Thonburi side, which is the other side of the river. King Rama I, he was the one who moved the capital to this side of the river, and this is when Chinatown emerged as well. So this video, I want to learn a little bit more about King Rama I, and also where it fits into the picture, how Chinatown fits into the picture. So I do believe just over here, the Memorial Bridge, there's actually a monument for King Rama I. So let's go and have a look at that, and I'll see what I can learn, and I'll share with you all.